What's up, Autism Moms? Listen, I just got a message from one of our Autism Moms in the community, and she asked for all the moms that have boy moms, all the boy moms out there that have autism and ADHD. What do you do to calm them down? What do you do when you're not around and they need to calm down? And, how do we go about the behaviors in general? And right now it's the holidays, so my boys are here with me. So you may hear music in the background. I have to do this disclaimer. You might have music in the background, people talking to me, my boys repeating because that's who they are. They have autism. But my oldest son, to answer your question, my oldest son has ADHD and autism and other stuff. And this is what I'm going to say. I have not taken any certifications or anything like that. I'm just an autism mom, just like you. Okay, so don't think that you're in this by yourself. You're not. We are all in this together. Now, there's several autism moms that want to go into that world and do certifications and get certificates and get diplomas and be professionals inside of the lane of autism. However, there are some moms out here just like you and me that really don't. All we do is raise kids with autism, right? And so I'm gonna tell you exactly what my experiences are, so you can kind of get a full idea of what I go through, and maybe you can kind of connect to that and understand. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be completely simple and blunt about what I say, because I've been on this journey for so long. My oldest son, who has the ADHD and autism, he's 15 years old. And I'm going to tell you something. When he was 6 years old, I almost halfway lost my mind, because when they're little, I've learned that they do a lot more jumping around, jumping on top of refrigerators, doing all kind of things that are just outrageous because they are younger and they have a lot of energy. They just don't understand what's going on in their bodies. And so, but the older they get, the more mature they get. It's just like anybody else in the world. They get more mature, they get better, they get more humble, they get more into their personality. And our biggest thing with autism as they get older is to give them some space and give them some respect. When they're younger, I don't know how old your son is, but when they are younger, I would suggest that you observe everything that they're doing all around them at all times. Anything that they do, you just sit there and you look at them and try not to interrupt them the way somebody would interrupt you. You kind of gotta get them to do exactly what they're doing, so you can see what that behavior is first and foremost. The second thing I would say is to not only push yourself into their world, but kind of understand why they're doing what they're doing. If you understand why they're doing what they're doing, you almost ace the whole game when they're younger, and you begin to deter them or take them on some other kind of journey someplace else, instead of just making sure that they stay into their own world. You kind of deter them and take them out of what they're doing. That's basically what we're doing. The second thing that I've noticed, that as he gets older, that his personality will almost take over autism, really, truly, honestly. They're still going to deal with autism, but their personality is going to shine more as they mature and they get older. And so I have left him alone. As far as medication is concerned, I'm not sure if your son is on medication or how you're going to deal with the ADHD, but it's really truly just protecting them so they will not harm themselves or anybody else. That's the main objective. As far as therapies and stuff is concerned, that's up to you. It's a personal thing. It's a personal journey. It says in the Bible that we must transform our minds into a space where we are focusing on Jesus more so than what we're focusing on as far as the problem is concerned. The problem is the problem for us to receive strength and guidance. The problem is the problem for us to receive who we actually are as we get older and as we grow into this journey. And just like anybody else's journey, I want to be clear. The Bible, Jesus, God, He is the source for any and everybody. He is the source for us as well. And everybody's journey is different. Even though you feel like people out here are, the typical moms out here, you see them doing all kind of things and all this, and they just, living their best lives. No. They still have issues. They still have problems. So our mindset has to be shifted into transforming into a mindset that God has placed in us, in all of us. We have to use our fruits of the Spirit. We have to not only pray to Him and ask Him for guidance and instruction as we go through from day to day, but we also got to live out the faith part, live out the belief part. We believe that it will get better. We believe that once we look at our child, it is better. It's going to get better. I see what you're doing. All right, so if he's doing that, let's shift and do this. Okay, and guess what? Let me tell you something. It is not easy. It's not easy. I'm gonna say that this is not easy. Just because we have confidence, just because you see me come on here with confidence and encouragement, that doesn't mean that my journey is easy. By no means. But I choose to believe in God. I choose to say, okay, this is what he's doing. Okay, this is what I need to shift and do. It's really simple, but yet it's complicated. People make autism complicated because autism is different. But it's all about how you look at yourself and what you say to yourself and how you shift your mindset on what you see. Because what you see is not going to be what you typically see in the world. But just like I said, that great verse that God told us, it's almost like you can't be conformed in this world. Like, you can't worry about what's in this world. You can't worry about what other people are doing. You can't let it bother you. And if it bothers you that bad, don't go there. Don't go outside. I'm serious. Don't go outside until you get strength to go outside. It's all right. Why is it not all right? It's cool. It's cool. That's why you got to have a community like this where you comfortable and you cool and you all right with it. I said to myself, when I'm not in here, when I'm not in this group, when I'm not talking about it, when I'm not doing a video, when I'm not like putting all these paragraphs in here, if I'm not doing it, life is lifing. That means that, I'm going through a lot of things and I don't even have time to get on here and do it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get on here and do it. This group going to be here forever and ever and ever. It doesn't matter if I'm in here by myself. I started by myself. I'm going to do it by myself. It's almost like a journey for me, and I want it to be a journey for you. I want it, and I mean a journal journey, like literally talk about it, like just get it all off your chest right in this group. That's what I'm gonna do. I got some strength recently. So when you're going through these behaviors with your son that has ADHD and autism, it ain't no answer. The doctors don't have no answers. God has all the answers. He does. Prayer changes things. That's real. Trouble don't last always. That's real. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, but acknowledge him and he shall direct your path. That is real. That's real. That's what I serve. That's the God that I serve. That's who I worship. That's what I stand on. And it works. I'm still here. That's a fact. Your baby is there. And so it's not. Every time a therapist comes into a house, and I'm about to go, every time a therapist comes into a house and they observe a child, they have never seen that child before. They have never seen the behaviors of that child, that particular child, because autism is different in everybody. It's going to be different in everybody. So nobody can be the expert but you. So you see me post stuff on my regular Courtney J. Truitt, the Autism Mom, visionary of Autism Moms Believe page. You'll see that I post real stuff because it is real. And as you go on this journey and you experience, you're going to get more experience and more experience and more experience and more experience. You're going to be an expert into your child and what your child does and what your child does. But you can't just be naive and don't look at him. You have to really be patient and look at him. You really have to have patience. You really have to ask God for peace and understanding. You really have to endure and utilize the fruits of the Spirit that God has for us. And that's the answer. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.